Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. I can't say daily because we took a day off yesterday, but welcome to another live stream. It's nice to see you all today. What can I say? Whoa, that's the wrong screen. Today is Thursday, November 6th, 2025. Today, I am celebrating 2 years complete on my fasting journey, my weight loss journey, my health and happiness journey. Today marks 2 years complete. Technically, today would be the start of year number 3. Today would officially be day number 1 for year number 3. It's crazy. As I was compiling all of my nerd stats, and I know that some of you love those nerd stats, well, there's a lot today. I got my DEXA scan done this morning. I had my DEXA scan also done last year on the same day at the same time. So this is going to be a really good comparison to go through that. But I have a lot to share today. This is an accountability live stream. This is an opportunity for me to share my progress with all of you. This is a way for me to share where I'm at fasting wise, where I'm at weight wise, and just an FYI, I am at a new low today. My low today is the lowest I've been since I left YouTube in 2021. That is how low my weight is today. This is a new low for me in over 4 years. It's really weird timing that it happened on today, but it also makes sense because I'm pushing a longer fast. Currently, I am 64 plus hours in. I haven't done a 60 plus hour fast in over a month, but I'm going to get into all of those stats today. I'm going to let you know where I'm feeling mentally, weight-wise, fasting-wise, even showing you what my DEXA scan looks like. It's mostly positive. I do have a little concern about some of it, but I'm going to talk about all of that in a little bit. Before I begin, though, before I share all of these stats, I want to give a quick shout out to people who are here in chat. Ian, Miss Peaceful One, Mandla, Maggie May. It's so nice to see a lot of the same names and faces here. Tommy, how's it going? Deja, Sleck, Island Girls, Kevin. How are you all? It's nice to see you. Peace to all. Let's go abroad. Repent, Almadas, BMJ. Ronnie, hello. Cap Rising, welcome. Kanya, Priceman 5, Judy, Margaret from Facebook, Aisha, Letty. So many of you are in here. I love that we can still take a day off and you're still showing up. It's so nice to see you all. Tim, hi Tim. I haven't seen you in a minute. It's nice to see you, Tim. Thanks so much. 2 years, let's go, my guy. Tim, it's nice to see you. Welcome. Classy, hello. Tanya, welcome. Fasting Heals, nice to see you as well. Nando, Creating Good Memories. Thomas, is that everyone? That might be everyone. Happy Bunny, Ryder family. There are so many of you in here. Welcome. K Betters. Did I say K Betters just yet? Maybe not. Ultimately, Melissa, Bill, welcome. And Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for your continued support as always. We missed you on Wednesday or yesterday, right? I'm already forgetting. Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat that says, Jerome, congrats on your 2-year anniversary and new low. We're all so proud. Thank you so much, Miss Peaceful One. Thank you for your support as always. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for the kind words. There is a lot to share today, like way more than I typically will share. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through chat. I know that many of you who are here share your story, share your progress. And before I get into chat and read how everyone's doing, remember, this is an opportunity for you to share your journey. So if you see people in chat sharing where they're at and what they're doing, please feel free to share. It's important to share the good and the bad. And I'm about to show all of you that right now. After I show the first half of what I'm going to be doing, I'll go through chat and then we'll go through the second half of these nerd stats. So we're going to do something a little different. We're going to start with the nerd stats at the beginning here. Not all of it, but a good amount of it. Today is Thursday, November 6th, 2025. Today is 732 days on my journey. I am now 2 years complete on my journey. Okay, everyone, are we going to do this again? Priceman 5 with a $10 super chat. And it's not a bad thing. I know there's a lot to go over. Priceman 5 with a $10 super chat. Priceman 5, thank you so much. Congrats on 2 years, Jerome. You continue to be an inspiration and a guide for us all. Thank you so much, Priceman 5. Here's to your continued success on your journey and beyond. May we all see such gains, or should I say losses? Actually, both, Priceman 5, right? Let's gain some muscle. Let's maintain that muscle. And let's lose some excess body fat. Let's gain new strategies. Let's improve our mental health, right? And let's lose those bad toxic habits. So you're talking about gaining and losing. There's a combination of both. Priceman 5, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And ultimately, Melissa with a $5 super chat. Happy fast anniversary. Thanks, ultimately, Melissa. I appreciate it. Remember, even though I am fasting and even though it's a very important part of my journey, remember, it's more than just the fasting part of it as well. We're talking about the way you eat, the way you refeed, the way you exercise, the way you sleep, the way you take care of your mental health. Ultimately, Melissa, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So let's get back into these nerd stats here. It's been 2 years, everyone, on my journey. Has it been a perfect 2 years? Do you think that all I've been doing has been perfect? My fasts have been perfect. My eating has been perfect. My exercise has been perfect. My sleep has been perfect. You'd be crazy to think if I've been doing this perfectly for 2 years. But the thing about it is, in the last 2 years, it has been an imperfect journey. Why have I been so successful? Why have I been able to lose this weight and keep it off for now over 2 years? I get to finally say over 2 years. Why? Because I am accountable, because I show up, because even on the bad days, I accept that imperfection. I accept the fact that bad days will happen and I will continue on my journey. If I have a bad day, if I overeat, I don't say, well, time to throw in the towel. Let's just start over. I don't say, oh, well, you know what? It's Thursday. I already broke early. So you know what? I'm just going to eat all day today. I'm not going to go to the gym like I thought I was going to do. I'm not going to eat healthy the next day either, because you know what? Tomorrow's Friday. Let's just enjoy the weekend. Let's just celebrate the weekend. You can do that. You can indulge on the weekend if you want to, but you have to make that choice. You should still be accountable instead of completely throwing away the day. You all know that it's been 2 years on my journey, but you should all know by now that it has not been perfect. So let's take a trip and talk about what the years look like for me. Year one, on day one, we're going to go through 732 days. I'm going to go through this a little quicker than usual, but I want you to understand what my journey has looked like. I want you to see the imperfection in this. On day one of my journey, when I started this on November 6, 2023, I weighed in at 217.8 pounds. I lost 25.8 pounds in the first 19 days of my journey. 25.8 pounds. I was losing over a pound a day on the first 19 days. In 62 days, I lost 50.4 pounds. Notice the weight isn't pushing as quickly, but did it deter me? No. Did I say, well, why am I not losing 1 pound a day anymore? Well, obviously, because the body just doesn't work that quickly as I continue to get leaner, but it did not stop my progress. In 142 days, I hit my goal. I lost 80 pounds in 142 days. My goal back then was to just get under 140 pounds. I actually completed that on day 138, but on day 142, I lost 80 pounds even. Look at how long I was fasting for to accomplish that. Almost a 4-day fast. My refeed time around 4.5 hours. And I was still eating 7,000 calories per refeed. That was the first 142 days on my journey, the first 5-ish months, less than 5 months. But look at what's happened after that. On day 154, I went on a 10-day vacation. What happened on that 10-day vacation? I gained 21.2 pounds in 10 days. If you all have watched that part of my journey, you probably saw that video. I remember seeing the comments and people saying, oh, there goes Jerome again. He's just gaining the weight again. He's not going to be able to do this. Oh, we knew this was going to happen, right? People talking their shit, people who don't understand that I am on my journey. I haven't had a vacation in the 150 some days. And here is me now going on vacation, trying to figure out how this works. When I went on vacation, yeah, I put on, like you see here, 21 pounds in 10 days. What did I do after that? I went back on my fasting protocol. I did what I had to do. I kept learning about myself. On day 209, I had my first all-day refeed where I ate for 12 hours during the day. That was another test for me to try something different. Noticed how the fasting average moved itself down over that time from 92 hours down to 75 hours. I wasn't doing 4-day fast at that point. I was starting to slow that down. Why? Because number one, doing a 4-day fast over and over and over, for me, started to feel tiresome. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of fasting in between that time. So here is me now getting to my goal weight and then trying to do shorter fasts and trying to find a balance between the two. So as we cut into the second half of the year or the latter part of the year, you'll see on day 239, I go on a 6-day vacation. I gained 19.8 pounds in 6 days. 6 days, I gained 19.8 pounds. I had an urge to binge. What did I do when I felt that way? I went live and I addressed it publicly. I wanted to be accountable, and that's what I did. Like I said, just because I hit my goal weight in 142 days doesn't mean that the journey ends. Just because I hit my goal weight in less than 5 months doesn't mean that everything's going to be perfect after that. Of course, vacations are going to happen. Of course, I'm going to go out with friends. So for many of you who think, oh, I can just live, if I could only live on a deserted island for the next 6 months and nobody would bother me, I'd get to my goal X, Y, and Z. Maybe you would. Maybe you do those things because you have no other distractions. But that's not how life works. Life is going to keep throwing curveballs at you. And the more that you integrate your daily life into what is happening is when you realize, this is how I figure it out. This is how I grow. This is how I push forward. So during this time, even though I hit my goal weight, you'll see the weight fluctuate. Urge to binge, being addressed publicly. Other days where I broke early, not according to plan. On day 286, I was experiencing burnout. What did I do? I went online, went live. I addressed that burnout publicly. I went on a 6-day vacation a couple days later at 138.4 pounds, and I gained over 20 pounds over that 6-day vacation. On day 351, I talked about losing control. Year number 2, a lot of the same, right? I went on a 2-week vacation. I gained 12.6 pounds. The lowest amount of weight that I've gained going on a 2-week vacation. Why was this so much different than before? Because I had gone on previous vacations and I had learned from myself. This is what I'm talking about. Every day that passes is a day that matters, is a day that you put whatever you are doing into practice, not just your fasting, not just your eating, not just your exercise, not just your sleep, but all of it. You put all of it together. This is how you grow. This is how you learn. This is how being accountable shows that you can do hard things, how you can get out of your bad habits. As time continued on day 467, I went on a 4-week vacation when I went to the Philippines and I went to Japan. In that 4 weeks, I gained 22.2 pounds. Day 528, I decided to do something different. I tried strict carnivore. Doing the strict carnivore, yeah, I lost a good amount of weight, 14.2 pounds in a matter of, I think, a week and a half. But it was too strict for me. I decided this isn't going to work for me. Doesn't mean that I wasn't going to try it. It's still a tool I have in my tool belt. And then on day 555, on May 13th, 2025, I tried to do that sugar fast. I couldn't even last a day because the moment I tried it, I realized I can control my calories. How did it get to that point? How did I go from eating 6,000, 7,000 calories on a refeed to all of a sudden controlling my calories? By doing something different, by putting something into practice. After trying to do the quote unquote sugar fast, which didn't even last that day, when I realized that I could control my calories instead, I told myself, well, maybe I don't have to eat 6,000, 7,000 calories. And for the next 5 weeks, I decided to just eat less and fast less. And in 35 days, I had 18 refeeds because I was doing ADF. I kept my calories at 2,600 during those next 35 days, something I had never, ever done before. I went from 157.2 to 140.2 pounds doing ADF. If you look at the very bottom there, my average fast for year number 2, or at least during this time frame, during this time frame was 40 hours and 45 minutes. That's a big change from fasting 93, 96 hours. So when I talk about changing and evolving and growing, you remember old Jerome, where I was doing 4-day fasts over and over and over. And now you see me doing ADF and finding success doing that. To me, I look at that as an even bigger win because I already knew I was good at fasting. I knew I could push a long fast. I'm currently 60 some hours fasted right now. It's not a big deal to me. But for me to fast less, for me to eat more often is a big win. That is something that I have never been able to do in my entire life. And while I still eat 4,000 calories or 3,500 calories, it's a lot better than the 6,000 or 7,000 I used to eat in the past. For year number 2, we're just going to go through this really quick here. For year number 2, on day 592, as I had figured out how to eat less and do ADF, I hit the 130s for the first time in 2 months. Gained 11.2 pounds, and then I found myself having out of control eating. This is where my weight pushed up not only from 143.2 to 160.8, but I continued to overeat. And then on day 624, I binged for the first time since I started my journey. For the first time. Why did that happen? What got me to that point where I binged? Not only once, but 2 days in a row. How did it get to that point? This is what I'm talking about. Just because I hit my goal on day 142 or 138 doesn't mean that 624 days later, something can come up and bite me in the ass. This is why you have to continue showing up for yourself every single day, because you have to continue learning about what you're doing. It doesn't always have to be a long fast. You eventually have to learn how to do shorter fasts. You eventually have to learn what to do when you get invited out to go to a party or a wedding, or when you go on vacation, or when your birthday comes up. Life is going to throw curveballs at you all day, every day, some days worse than others. And so despite everything that I've gone through for the last 2 years, even though I pushed really hard at the beginning, look at all the bumps in the road. Look at me gaining 20 pounds on a 6-day vacation. Look at me binging 624 days later when that wasn't in the playbook at all. That happened because, like I shared with you all, many of you have been on this journey for the last 100+ days. I had shared with everyone that I'm moving out of the country this month. With that happening, I started to get really anxious. I felt like I had a million things to do on my plate, or I had a million things on my plate to do. And then my old habits came back and I started to eat, overeat, and then binge to help the anxiousness. And when that happened, I pushed my weight all the way up close to 170 pounds. And that's when I decided I need to be more accountable. That's when I decided to show up every day for the next 100 days. And that's exactly what I did. On day 631, I went public after a week's absence. I added accountability by streaming for 100 days in a row. And then most recently, from days 712 to days 731, I hit new low weights in over a year doing ADF and controlling my calories, getting it down to 139.4, 138.4, 138.2, 138. If you look at what's highlighted in green, my year 2 average fast was less than 40 hours. That was my year 2 average. Compared to what I did in the first 138 days when I was fasting for close to 4 days. This is what I'm talking about. Every day is going to be a journey. Every day is an opportunity to learn. Every day is an opportunity to grow. So today, on day 732, today marks year number 3 for me, right? I'm celebrating 2 years complete on my journey. This morning, when I stepped on the scale, I hit 135.6. That is the lowest weight that I've hit in over 4 years. This is the lowest weight that I have been since I've restarted my journey. It was really interesting. When I was plugging my weight onto the scale today, or onto my app today, my app usually tells me when it was the lowest, or when my weight was the lowest since X and X amount of days. So you probably can't, I probably will, I don't know if you, nah, you can't see it here. Maybe. Nope, it's too bright. Well, just so you know, what it says here is, and maybe what I could do is I can screenshot it. Let me screenshot it and see if I can send it over. Anyway, 135.6 pounds today. I'll try to talk as I move this file over. It was really interesting. That 135.6 obviously came because I am working on a 65-hour fast, or I'm past the 165 hours right now. But it was really fitting for today to hit my lowest weight ever. And remember, I was just sharing with you all, it was not too long ago when I pushed up close to 170 pounds, close to 170. And here we are now hitting my lowest weight on, or in over 4 years. The last time I was this low in weight was back in 2021 when I was under 135 then. Where's that image? Here it is. If you see here, if you see on the very right, when I plugged in my weight today, it said the lowest since ever. Obviously, I've been lower than that. These weights are from the restart of my journey on November 2023. But to be where I'm at today, it's just great to see. This is what I'm talking about, though. This is why when you are struggling, when you are having a hard time, you don't walk away from it. You continue, you trust the process, you learn from your mistakes, you keep on growing. If you turn your back away from this, and think about what I'm saying. When I'm talking about turning your back away from this, you might be like, this is stupid. What's the big deal? It's just a day, it's just a weekend, you're talking about your health. You're talking about the most important thing that you should be taking care of. I've said this before. Your health comes first before anything else. Yes, your health comes before your family. Your health comes before your loved ones. Why? I'm not saying that you shouldn't take care or you shouldn't love your loved ones or your partner or your job or whatever it might be. But without your health, you have nothing. Without your health, you have nothing. You need to prioritize your health. You need to understand, I need to give myself X amount of hours during the day to be mindful, to go for a walk, to go lift weights at the gym, to make sure that I have enough hours to sleep. That is the importance of your health. And if you are not doing that for yourself, you are doing yourself a disservice. Once you lose your health, you have nothing. How can you take care of your loved ones? How can you take care of your family? How can you take care of your job if you don't have your health? 135.6. That is the lowest I have been now in over 4 years. If we compare year number 1 over year number 2, year number 1, my average fast was 62.5 hours. It started at almost a 4-day fast. But look at how it's changed for year number 2. Not even 40 hours. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't fast for a long period of time. I'm not saying that it won't benefit you to fast for long periods of time, because obviously it has for me. It has for me. I've shown you all. But I think what's really more important is, as the days go by, as you continue to lose weight, are you paying attention to other non-scale victories? Are you taking care of your blood work? Are you sure that what you're doing is healthy enough to take care of you? Are you maintaining your muscle? Are you losing excess body fat where it counts, outside of just a number on the scale? But as we're looking at weights and numbers, I just want to show you this. In the last 732 days, I have been recording because again, I am such a nerd stat, or I'm just a nerd stat person. In the last 732 days, I have been recording every 100 days of my journey. In the first 100 days, my average weight was 178.9. To get there, I was doing 94-hour fasts. For days 100 to 200, my average weight really pushed itself down to 147, doing 63-hour fasts. Fast forward, right? You'll see these numbers have been relatively the same. 150, 150, 149, 149. But currently, for days 700 to 732, look at this, where it's highlighted in green. This is my average weight currently for the first 32 days, for days 700 to days 800. 142.4 pounds. That is the lowest average over the last 100 days I've been recording. Fasting wise, 45 hours. This is a lot different from what I did before. Fasting for 94 hours on average the first 100 days, 63 hours on average for days 100 to 200. All I'm showing you right now is that while it's fine to fast for long periods of time, as long as you can healthily do it, you have to find success fasting for shorter amounts of time as well. All of that is super important. You have to learn how to fast for a shorter period of time, because you have to learn how to eat better. You have to learn how to incorporate cardio health for your heart. You have to learn how to incorporate strength training for muscle, building your metabolism, increasing your metabolism, taking care of your health. All of those things are super important. If you neglect certain things, it's going to affect you. Think about that. You could be fasting perfectly. You could be eating perfectly. But if your sleep sucks, that's going to affect so many things. It's going to affect the way you recover at the gym. It's going to affect the cortisol when you're not sleeping correctly. It's going to affect your mood and your hunger. A lot of that plays a part, and you have to keep that in mind. So this is the first half, everyone. That's the first half. Those are the first half of my nerd stats. That is the first 2 years of my journey. The second half of this, we're going to talk about my DEXA scan. If any of you are wondering, I got my DEXA scan today to mark my 2-year anniversary. I started this journey on November 6, 2023. On November 6, 2024, I got my first year DEXA scan done. And then today, after completing year number 2, I got another DEXA scan done. And we're going to compare those numbers later in the second half of this live stream. Like I said earlier, this is an autophagy live stream. This is an opportunity for you to share your journey with me. Just like I'm sharing mine with you all, I want to take some time and see how others are doing. So please share with us. I've just shown you the good and the bad. I've just shown you that while I have completed long fasts and gotten to my goal weight, I've also fell off track. I've also gained weight. I've also struggled. I've pushed up in weight, gone down in weight, but I have learned to do different things over time. The amount of tools I have in my tool belt today versus where it was 2 years ago is astounding. The shit I know today versus what I knew 2+ years ago is astounding because I have so many tools at my availability now. There are so many things that I can do to better my health, to better my happiness. And this is why I will repeat this again and again and again. Be accountable, show up, work on yourself. Do not walk away from it. Don't say, it's Thursday, I'm just going to start on Monday. That kind of thinking, those are days that you are missing from growing, from learning. So we're going to take some time now. We're going to see how other people are doing. I think it's really important to let you know you're not alone. Miss Peaceful One says here, hi, Finally Fasting fam, 90 hours into a fast and I'm feeling great. Congrats, Miss Peaceful One. I'm 90 hours in. I'll most likely break this evening. Not sure. I have a lunch date tomorrow. Keep us posted. Congrats on the 90. I love that for you. I mean, you'll break later tonight and then you'll have a shorter refeed in the morning or a shorter fast for the morning. Keep us posted, but congrats, Miss Peaceful One, on your 90. Mandla says, hi, Jerome and fam. I ended my 72-hour fast at 70 hours. Congrats. And here's another example. Even though Mandla had a 72-hour fast, she completed it at 70. Did she say, well, I broke it early, so now it's time to eat everything? It's time to just give up. No, right? Mandla ended it at 70 so she could enjoy a 3-hour eating window before starting my next fast. That's great. I'm now 28 hours into a 36-hour fast. Congrats on your 2-year journey, Jerome. Thank you so much, Mandla. And congrats to you for being this far in. If I remember correctly, you're 5+ weeks in, right? And also what Mandla is sharing. Just because Mandla did a 70-hour fast doesn't mean the next one has to be another 70-hour. Sometimes you have to be flexible with the way you fast. Try things out. Learn how to be good at not just fasting for a long period of time, but fasting for shorter and controlling the calories. Congrats, Mandla. Thank you for sharing with us. Ian says, I was a pound down yesterday. I'm the same weight today, which I'm pleased with. After kind of a 20% day yesterday, I cut my calories low today and got my steps in. And here's Ian sharing all the weight loss levers being used. Fasting for maybe a shorter period of time, but still putting a fasting day in, keeping calories low, working on that weight loss lever, getting his steps in, working on the exercise lever as well. Doing a lot of good. Ian, thank you for sharing with us. Okay, if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm reading chat and trying to throw things up right now. What up, J3 and my fasting peeps? Is that 3 for year number 3? That's my guess. Your boy has hit a stall, kind of wanted to be in the 200 club. by your year 3 and 172 of my journey. I wanted to show you what you've meant to me mentally and physically. You're awesome, J3. I truly don't know where I'd be without you. I know you don't like to shout out yourself, but you've changed lives, and that's something to cheer about. I tip my cap to you. Tommy, I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. And I'm going to say this to you as well. Don't worry so much about getting into the, your quote 200 club, because you'll get there. As you continue to work on your journey, as you continue to fix and learn about every weight loss lever, as you start to add tools to your tool belt, I know it's only a matter of time before you can get there. Yes, there are going to be ups and downs. You've experienced that. You've shared that with us. I mean, even think about everything that's happened since then with where you're at. You've had a lot go on. So I know you're going to get there, Tommy. Just keep us posted. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that so much. Tommy, I know I'll be reading something from you soon, and I'll continue hearing about your journey. So thank you for sharing, Tommy. Maggie says, I tried to complete the spreadsheet. This is for our autophagy live stream, but I'm not familiar with them. I have a neighbor who said she would come over to teach me a few things this weekend. Maggie, if you ever have questions, let me know too. I'm happy to help. Let me see here. Tommy, I just saw that comment. Deja says, hi, everyone. I refed today with a small meal. I'm getting so fatigued on fasting. So even before I read the rest of this, Deja, the first thing I'm going to say here is if you feel that fatigued from fasting, it's time to take a step back. It's time to take a step back, and maybe instead of because you've done some long fasts at this point. Deja says, I wanted to do ADF this month, but I just don't feel like it. Not giving up. I'm just mentally not in, but pushing on. I'm needing more accountability as I get to my, as I get closer to my 150 goal. I think I need to join the autophagy group. I'm just worried I won't be able to make it or talk in it or anything. Usually just listen. Deja, these are our autophagy live streams are always on Wednesday, either in the late afternoon or soon will be in the early evenings again, or in the evenings again. But Deja, to get back to what you said here, if you feel fatigued on fasting, that's a sign that it's time to take a step back. And it doesn't mean that you can't do ADF later on. But maybe what it means right now is getting good at fasting for a shorter period of time and learning how to eat cleaner, limit your calories, maybe keep the refeed short and going again. There is a lot to be learned from this. This is something that I need to teach myself as well, because let's face it, I'm getting to a point where I will eventually get to a lean enough weight where I will probably have to do OMAD the majority of the week. This is something that I have to learn as well. Deja, don't feel discouraged. And I know you feel a little frustrated, and I understand that. You're not mentally in it. And so I'm going to tell you right now, you want to get mentally back in it, it's going to take you to take a step back, maybe do OMAD, maybe even have a 20% day, even if that's not what you want to do. If you saw earlier when I was sharing all of my stats, I started to feel burnt out. What did I do? I gave myself a staycation. I took like 5 days off. And after that, I got back into it. Sometimes we need to give ourselves a little space. Sometimes we need to try something different. Keep us posted, Deja. Thank you for sharing. Sleck says 36 hours fasted, going for 48. Congrats, Sleck. It looks like you have this pretty much pinned down. Am I right? It looks like you've been getting some longer fasts in. I love that for you. But just like I told Deja, how are you feeling? If you're starting to feel burnt out, if you're starting to feel like it's a bit much, I just want anybody who's in here to understand, maybe it might be time to take a step back every now and then. It also doesn't mean that you can't push hard when you feel it. Sleck is probably at the point right now where Sleck can keep pushing, because if I remember correctly, Sleck's been having a slew of longer fasts. And remember, if all of you are not familiar with Sleck, at the beginning of this, I don't even know if Select was getting past OMAD at that point or even doing OMAD at that point. So congrats to you, Select. Thank you for sharing with us. Island Girl says fasting today. I'm so hungry. Remember to ask yourself, are you truly hungry or is it a mental thing? Are you truly hungry to the point that you cannot function like a normal human being, or is it just a psychological thing? If I asked you right now, can you get up off of bed? Can you get up off of your chair? Can you still go to work? Can you still function like a normal human being? If the answers to that are yes, then it's probably just a psychological thing. But have you also tried to keep yourself hydrated? Have you tried electrolytes? Have you tried a 0-calorie drink? Have you tried bone broth? Have you tried even minimal calories? And if you have, and none of those work, then it's time to break and then go again. But keep us posted, Island Girls. Thank you for sharing. Kevin says 114 hours into 155. I'm in my sweet spot. Ketones are high, glucose is low. I have the eye of the tiger. Kevin, congrats on getting through. I read your comment yesterday when I posted my video. I'm glad that I was able to help you at least keep pushing on. Hopefully, like you said, right now you're feeling good, so let's keep going. Thank you for sharing with us, Kevin. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here just to see if I missed anything. Let's Go Abroad says, hello, fam. I've been a silent follower for a month. I managed to lose 3.2 kg. Congrats, Let's Go Abroad, doing rolling fast in October. I'm currently in hour 47 of my rolling 72. I love that for you, Let's Go Abroad. Thank you for speaking up after being a follower for a month. I hope that as the time has gone by, you have found a lot of motivation, inspiration, and knowledge in what you're doing. I mean, you can stay silent if you'd like past this, but my hope is you'll continue to share with us how you're doing. So thank you for sharing. Let's Go Abroad. Okay, let me scroll down here. Peace to All says, I'm 24 hours into a new fast after breaking a 45 or breaking at 45 for a refeed. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I wanted to fast for 48 hours beforehand as there will be cake and ice cream. And this is a really good strategy too. When we have quote unquote 20% days where we are going to be overeating or maybe indulging a little bit more, sometimes the strategy is to put a longer fast before that day happens. Sometimes the strategy is to put a longer fast after that day happens, as long as it doesn't force you or it puts you into this place of all or nothing where if you don't do it, then you start cycling through this. Now I'm going to overeat. Now I'm going to binge on this day. But peace to all. Keep us posted and happy early birthday to you. I love that for you, peace to all. Congrats on getting your 45 in and pushing this 48. Keep us posted if you are able to push that far. And I'm sure you will. It doesn't seem like you're having issues at that point. Ronnie says, it's a feast day after a 40-hour fast. These extra 4 hours have been stacking up. I'm at work, but goodness, being accountable on Jerome's big day. Ronnie, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. Enjoy your feast day. Congrats on getting a 40-hour fast in. Keep us posted on what's next. What are you planning on doing after that? Cap Rising says, nice to see everyone. I'm having a glass of wine to celebrate 2 years for Jerome. Enjoy the glass of wine, Cap Rising. Thank you for continuing to show up. Thank you for being accountable. Anytime I'm on here, it's always nice to hear from you as well. So enjoy that glass of wine. Enjoy. Okay, let me see here. Classy says, what's up, everyone? New here. Enjoy. Classy, thank you for being here. Thanks for sharing with us. Second 48-hour fast ends today. Congrats on your rolling 48s. Going to go back for another 48. I love that for you. Is that the plan? To roll through 48s until goal weight. I mean, what are you thinking right now? Let us know in the comments or in chat. I always read through chat afterwards, so I always like to see how people are doing. Aisha says, ended up eating today. I'm sick of eating, to be honest. I'm hitting the timer for reals this time. Aisha, and I've read through your comments as well, and I know the struggle you're going through, and I hope you understand. I mean, even on the last live stream, I read through, what you were sharing and the all or nothing type thing, and I hope you know that I relate to that. I've been there. I know what it's like to be in that all or nothing state and just eat back-to-back days. And I hope that, like you said, you're sick of eating like you said, you're sick of eating. I've been that way too, where I just eat so much day after day after day where I'm like, I can't do this. And so this is, again, another opportunity for you to hit your timer, get through your fast. I'm wondering though, and you can let me know, you don't have to, but over the last couple of days where you were eating back to back to back, and if they were days where it was just completely out of control, were there days that you did try to put control into it? Were there days where you tried to change how you ate? Did you make any mindful choices during that time? Because if you did, I would look at that as a win. I would look at that as an opportunity to say, I did it then, I can do it again. I can apply this the next time something like this happens. So keep us posted, Aisha. Thank you for sharing with us. I appreciate you sharing with us, especially when you're in a place right now where you're probably really vulnerable, where probably 99% of people don't even want to share something like that. So I'm proud of you for doing that. That means a lot to me to hear that. And right, when I say that, I'm not congratulating you on struggling, but to be able to show up even when most people don't want to. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Tanya says, hey, Jerome, congrats. I've been fasting since last week on October with no refeeds. Gonna go till I'm feeling hungry. Thanks everyone for all you do. Congrats, Tanya, on your success. Tanya, you've pushed some long fasts. If I'm remembering correctly, you pushed nearly a week dry, didn't you? You've been fasting since last week on October with no refeed. Gonna go. Yeah. So keep us posted, Tanya. Congrats on your success. I love that for you. Keep us posted. Margaret from Facebook asks, how was your DEXA scan? It went pretty well. We're going to share that a little later after I get through chat here. Thank you all for the kind words. I know I can't talk to everyone on here, but I'm trying. Happy Bunny says, thank you for posting the video yesterday. I thought it would be helpful. So I'm glad that you found it helpful. It helped me. I was a bit like, what do I do? I feel lost in my day. So also remember, these are opportunities for many of you to still figure out, what do I do now? Yes, maybe I'm not live streaming. Maybe that support is not the same, but it doesn't mean that you have to walk away from it. Instead, that means, how do I grow from here? How can I continue my journey? How can I show up for the rest of the community when Jerome goes live? When can I share all of that info? So anybody, not just Happy Bunny, for anybody that's here, remember, your journey doesn't end just because I'm not live streaming on that day. Your journey should continue. You should still hold yourself accountable, because I will eventually be back asking how everyone is doing. Thank you for sharing with us, Happy Bunny. Bill says, what's up, Jerome? First fast currently in 50 hours. Congrats on 50 hours in. When should I end? Bill, that's up to you. I mean, when are you thinking about ending? If maybe the most logical answer is, if you're in a place where you cannot go any longer, you've tried it all. You've tried to hydrate. You've tried electrolytes. You've tried maybe a 0-calorie drink. You've tried maybe a minimal amount of calories. Maybe you've tried what other people have done, where they'll put butter in their coffee, MCT oil in their coffee. If you've gotten to that point and none of those things have worked, then it's time to break. Then it's time to end. There isn't a number that I'm going to give you, because you need to figure this out. All that I'm wondering, Bill, is after you finish your fast and after you refeed, will you hit the timer and go again? It doesn't mean that you have to do another 50-hour. All I'm saying is, can you still show up and do what's best for you? Hopefully that helps, Bill. Did I get a super chat? Ultimately, Melissa just became part of the Finally Fasting fam. Can we throw some F's up for Melissa, my Finally Fasting fam members? Melissa, you have the opportunity to use this custom emoji too. There's also this clock one, and there's also just random ones in there. Ultimately, Melissa, thank you for your support. I mean, thank you also earlier for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, ultimately, Melissa. Thank you for supporting. Okay, let me scroll back down here and just see if there's anybody else sharing their journey is what I'm saying. Priceman5 says, in the middle of a 36-hour fast, I've been doing OMAD for the last few days because I could get further. Keep us posted, Priceman5. Love that you're in the middle of a 36. How long are you planning to go for? Keep me posted. There's so many of you in chat. I don't know if I can get to everyone in here. Thank you all. I don't know, Joe's sleep and slim down journey. Thank you for joining. HGG, it's so nice to see you. Fasting my way to Jen. Hi, how are you? Almada says day 33. Today was a meh day. Still tweaking calories. Bad back, headache, feeling okay, not frustrated. Curious about what I'm doing wrong. I mean, Almadas, maybe you're not doing anything wrong. Maybe today's just an off day. Maybe it's just a day where you tell yourself, okay, what else can I do for myself that's good outside of maybe fasting for too long? I mean, as you talk about having a bad back and a headache, maybe those are the first things that you need to prioritize, is taking care of that. Why? Because that's also your health. It isn't just about fasting. Keep us posted, Almadas. It sucks to hear about that. It sucks to hear about your back and your headache. Hopefully you're taking something or you're doing something to help relieve that. Keep us posted. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you or congrats on being 33 days in and not saying I'm going to start over. So keep us posted, Almadas. Thank you again. North Dakota, how's it going? It's nice to see you again. FYI, last week I planned a 168. I broke my fast at 144 due to issues with traveling. Still a great fast and felt wonderful. Congrats on 144 in North Dakota. And this is another example. Just because somebody plans a 1 week fast, and if they're not able to hit it, it doesn't mean that they give up. It doesn't mean that stopping a timer means that they've quit. It just means 144 is still a great amount of time. Hopefully you had a good refeed after that, North Dakota, and you're pushing on again. What's the plan after this? Are you planning on doing another 168? Are you going to be doing something shorter in the meantime before you build up for another longer one? Keep me posted. Let me know. Kanya says, completed 2 36-hour plus fasts. Congrats, Kanya. I had scheduled a 48-hour fast, but due to the flu, I broke it at 20 hours to take medication. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Life is gonna life. Life be lifing, right? And when life be lifing, you have to roll with it. You have to figure things out. How many of you were in a fast and then you got sick, or your doctor said, I need you to take antibiotics? How many of you have been in that situation and then you throw away the day and be like, well, I guess I can't fast, so now I'm just going to eat whatever for the next however many days? It doesn't have to be like that. You can still put practice into what you're doing. Kanya also says, I've also been doing 11,000 steps and strength training. Kudos to you for working on your other weight loss levers, even when you're not able to push a longer fast in, but taking a break to get better. Feel better, Kanya. Keep us posted. Good on you for doing other things outside of the fasting part. Yo, thank you for the kind words. Gloria, hi, Gloria. Nice to see you. Gloria Jones says, hey, Jerome, congrats on your 2 to 3 years. Well, 2 years complete. Today is technically day 1 of year 3. You started in November, yes, of 2023. How did you get through Thanksgiving? So in 2023, I fasted on Thanksgiving. I also fasted on Christmas. And I did that in 2023 because I was super motivated. Would I do that today? I would not. In 2024, I ate on Thanksgiving. I have learned to fast for a shorter amount of time because I have learned to eat cleaner, where I don't have to eat as much and still lose weight. So for you, Gloria Joan, maybe it means you're fasting up until Thanksgiving. And then on Thanksgiving, you know you're going to be eating more. So maybe you'll fast a little more before Thanksgiving and then you'll fast a little after. Or maybe not. Maybe it means that you'll eat the same way or you'll fast the same way, but you'll control your calories. Work on something different. Maybe it means that you'll fast the same way or you'll fast shorter, but the day after Thanksgiving, you're going to make sure that you get a strength training session in, a longer walk in. So yes, I did fast on Thanksgiving Day in 2023, but I did not in 2024. And for 2025, I'll probably be eating on that day. Just depends. I don't know exactly what I'm doing just yet for Thanksgiving. Thanks for the question, Gloria Joan, and thanks for the kind words. Melly Mel with a $10 super chat. Melly Mel, thank you for your continued support as always. I appreciate you so much. Melly Mel with a $10 super chat says, just a small token of my appreciation and congrats on 2 years of sharing your journey with us. Well done. Thank you so much, Melly Mel. And this isn't even a small token. Melly Mel, you've been supporting for so long and you dropped that huge donation 2 days ago. So Melly Mel, thank you for your continued support. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me scroll down here and just see if there's, I think I lost my place. Okay, maybe not. Yo says, congrats on your journey. Thank you, Yo. I'm doing 39 to 48 hour fasts. I'm assuming that's fast, but my weight doesn't move because I eat too much. But I did 12 weeks and I'm consistent until I learn how to eat right. So, okay, I love this. I love this. I love that Yo is sharing this. So first of all, thank you again for the kind words. Here is somebody who is working and accepting imperfection, practicing imperfect consistency. Yo says here right now, I'm doing 39 to 48 hour fasts, but my weight doesn't move. Why? Because I eat too much. Yo has been doing this for 12 weeks and Yo has probably learned a lot over these 12 weeks. Yo has probably lost weight initially and then realized that, hey, if I keep eating this way, even after a 39 to 48 hour fast, I have 2 options. 1, I fast for longer, or 2, I start to clean up the diet. Yo, I'm wondering for you, how are you able to, when you eat, have you tried to change either the volume of your food, maybe eating lower calorie, higher volume? Have you tried to change what your macro split is? Are you prioritizing protein? Or when it comes to your fasting, maybe you can fast for longer. Have you tried 0 calorie drinks? Have you tried hydrating more? Have you tried electrolytes? Share with me. Let me know in the comments. I'm just kind of wondering where you're at. But congrats on being so consistent. Congrats on practicing imperfect consistency. And here's the thing too. Yo might be plateaued on weight, but at the same time, even being plateaued on weight, it doesn't mean that Yo is changing and saying, well, my weight isn't changing, so I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to walk away from this. What's the point? This is so much work. Instead, Yo knows that they have an issue when it comes to the eating part, and it's something that needs to eventually get fixed. So keep us posted, Yo. Thank you for sharing. Creating Good Memories says, I need to lose about 50 pounds, but every time I try to do even just a 16-hour fast, I fail. I used to be able to fast easier. So just like I was saying to Yo, if you can't push 16 right now, or if all you're doing right now is pushing a 16 creating, what does your diet look like? How bad is the diet that a 16-hour fast is not working for you? And you've probably heard me say this before, but if you can do 16 hours, you can do 16 hours and 15 minutes. If you can do 16 hours and 15 minutes, you can do 16 and a half hours. If you can do 16 and a half hours, you can do 17 hours. And it doesn't mean that every fast has to be progressively harder than the last, but you have to build that fasting muscle. Yes, I used to be able to fast easier. You're not the only one. Many people are in that same boat. Many people have been in this same situation. I'm sure people in chat will probably tell you right now that, yeah, I've said that before. I've been that way too. But here's what it takes. And I'm telling you, show up, be accountable, practice it every day, hit your timer every day, start working on other things outside of fasting, start looking into your diet, start looking into your sleep. Many people neglect sleep. Many people don't even think sleep is an important part, but sleep plays a huge role. Sleep helps build your routine. Sleep helps keep the cortisol in check, keeps your hunger at bay. If you think about it, sleeping well and sleeping for a long period of time is extending your fasting. So think about other things. What does your cardio look like? What does your strength training look like? If none of those things are even part of your routine, make it a part of your routine. Keep us posted, Creating Good Memories. Remember, it's not just about the number on the scale. It's about working and building good, healthy habits. Gloria, thank you so much. Gloria just donated $20. Gloria with the $20 super chat says, appreciate the advice. You're very welcome, Gloria. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the huge donation. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. And again, like I said, please keep me posted on what you're doing. I always, and you know what? It's sometimes I wonder if people think, why does Jerome care what everyone else is doing? It's because I genuinely do. It's because I want us to all do the same thing. I want us to be happy and healthy. I want us to figure out what to do. Like I said, many times over and over and over, this is not rocket science. This isn't, a lot of it is common sense. A lot of it is taking care of more than just the fasting part. Does that mean that you shouldn't fast for a long period of time? No. If you want to push hard, if you want to give it your all, if you want to eat the cleanest, go ahead, do it. Do the all part. Just don't do the nothing part where you throw away the day, where you say, well, I'm just going to start on Monday. You know what? It's already November 6th, so let's just start January 1st. You don't have to go that route anymore. I'll say it like this. November 6th was my day one. November 6th was my day one. November 6th, 2023 was my day one. If you're here right now and you're like, well, I haven't started. Maybe today will be my day one. Do it. Make today be your day one. And then a year from now, tell me and be like, hey, Jerome, that was me. I said that was going to be my day one. And I've now gone a year. And here's where I'm at. And I've learned so much because I didn't walk away from what I'm doing. Maybe today is your day one. But if it is, let it be your last. Let it be the last time you start over. Because as I am 732 days into my journey, I know for a fact that I will not be starting over. Every day, I will continue working on myself, working on my journey. Gloria Joan, thank you again for the $20 donation. Thank you for the support. Ultimately, Melissa, is this in response to me? I can't remember. Hi, Trumpet. Nice to see you. I'll be starting Friday at 6 p.m. I'm not exactly sure if you're talking to me here, but I'm just saying this is, why are we starting on Friday? Why are we starting tomorrow? Why are we not starting today? That's all I have to say. And you might have your reasons, and I get it, but you know, this is just me reminding everyone that we don't have to push things off. We can start now. And it doesn't mean that you have to start eating the best right now. All I'm saying is maybe it just means you start being aware. You start hitting a timer, even if your refeed isn't going to be the best. Because like I've shown in the last 2 years, it hasn't been a perfect 2 years, but I'm always hitting my timer. I'm always jotting my notes down. I'm always being accountable and showing up. Okay, let me scroll down into here. Dax says 293 hours into a 300-hour fast. That's amazing. How many hours is that? So 300 hours would be 12 and a half days. Congrats, Dak. Congrats on such a long fast. We'll break at 11 p.m. I got the bone broth, eggs, kimchi already. I feel good, but the anticipation is building. Dak, congrats on such a long fast. Please keep us posted. Let us know how your refeed goes. When was the last time you've done anything like this? Or is this the longest fast you've done before? Keep me posted. Thanks for sharing, Dak. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down here and see if there are any other names I haven't seen. God I Am says, I just don't know how it's possible that I can't lose weight from doing a 72-hour fast followed by 1,000-calorie OMAD every week. The OMAD causes all the weight to come back, losing hope. So, okay, God I Am. Are you saying that you'll do one 72-hour fast and then you'll do OMAD 4 or 5 days a week, eating 1,000 calories? If the weight is coming back, I'm not saying you're not eating 1,000 calories, but what is it that you're eating exactly? And are you tracking something outside of just a number on the scale? Are you looking at your non-scale victories? Are you taking pictures? Are you putting smaller clothes on that fit tight and taking a picture maybe once a week to see if those clothes are fitting better? Because by what you're saying, doing a 72-hour fast and doing OMAD and only eating 1,000 calories, you should definitely be losing weight. Again, I don't know your specifics. I don't know what you are currently doing. I don't know if you have any kind of exercise or strength training routine, but keep me posted. I might not have all those answers because this is maybe a longer conversation. Maybe there are other people in chat who have already tried to help you out, but I would love to read about your journey. And if there's a way I can help, I'll read through this after the live stream and see if there's anything I can add on if I see you again next time. Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. Kimberly says, hi, I'm new here. However, I've been doing ADF, 36-hour fasting for a month now. That's great. I love that. I plan to do some extended fasting soon. Congrats on doing ADF for a month. Congrats on doing it consistently. Do you want to share with us what your journey currently looks like? You don't have to. I'm just curious later when I read through chat where you are at stat-wise. Have you been losing weight? What your goals are. I'm just kind of curious, Kimberly. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for the support. Okay, I'm scrolling down. I love that, Michael. Good for you. Hitting the timer right now. That's great. I love it. Bill. I was like looking at chat. I'm like, wait, did something pop up? Bill just became part of the Finally Fasting fam. Bill, thank you so much for your support. Can we throw some F's up, please, for Bill? If you are a Finally Fasting fam member, you have this to show. If not, there's this one as well. So throw whatever custom emoji is available to you. Bill, thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Finally Fasting fam. Thank you so much. It's nice to have you here, Bill. Thank you again. CJ says, I've never gone beyond 24 hours. What is the longest fast that is still relatively easy? Like 36? Yeah, 36 is probably the next step if you haven't gone past 24. Maybe try a 36. I mean, you could do a 72 if you want. You have to feel it out. But the next logical step, obviously, would be 36. I would maybe try that out. 36 is generally what we call an ADF. 36 is like that minimum number amount. But even if it's 35, that's still great. You've done something different. You've built or worked on your fasting muscle. So keep us posted, CJ, on what, if you're able to get a 36 and if you're able to go beyond that. Keep me posted. I just want to know. Thanks for sharing. R says, are you doing 60 plus hours fast still? Today I am. Today I'm currently 65 plus hours fasted, but the last time I did anything that was 60 plus hours was over a month ago. I have barely been doing that. My average fast lately is around 40-ish hours. I just shared earlier for all of year number 2 of my journey, my fasting average was under 40 hours, which is crazy because I was doing 4-day fast before and now they're around 40 hours, 45 hours. Okay, I'm going to keep scrolling down here just to see if there are any other new names that I haven't seen. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you. Thanks for the kind words or encouraging other people on here. Hey, Skippy. Nice to see you. Geez, guys, how far down do I have to go on here? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to everyone. Mrs. Carter says, congrats on your anniversary. Mrs. Carter, thank you so much. That's incredible. Finally caught alive. It's nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Found your channel from the Hearts and Cakes 90s channel. Oh, that's great because I've seen Hearts and Cakes here. I didn't even know they had a channel. Been slowly losing off and on for the past year on ADF. Congrats, Mrs. Carter. What's your ultimate goal? What is your plan pushing from now? Is it to just do ADF? I mean, it looks like you've had success. Keep me posted, Mrs. Carter. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. And thanks for being here. Oh, I'm all the way down. Okay. All right, everyone. It's time to talk about my DEXA scan. Now, I don't know if any of you are unfamiliar with what a DEXA scan is, but a DEXA scan is where I lay on this bed and they scan me. It's like an X-ray, and the DEXA scan measures how much fat and muscle I have on me. This is something I did last year on November 6, 2024, and I did it again November 6, 2025. Now, there's a lot I'm going to be sharing here, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in the proper order, but I will try my hardest. So let's get into maybe the bare bones of it. So here are my DEXA scan results after years 1 and 2. My body fat percentage went from 20% to 17.5%. This is still crazy to me because, I mean, I don't know where I was at fat percentage wise on day 1. Maybe I was 40%, maybe I was 45%. I mean, I have no idea. You all have seen how I've looked in the past, but from going to 20%, I was already happy, 20% after 1 year, and then 17.5% today. But even looking at where I'm at 17.5%, it tells me I still have work to do. I can get down to 15%. And maybe that's where my goal is 15%. Afia asks, and Afia brought this up yesterday on our Wednesday call. Did you ask about the RMR? I did. So I asked about the RMR and they told me it would take 40 minutes, but maybe they were just saying that because they didn't want to do the RMR for me, but they also had like 3 other people. When I left, there were other people getting their DEXAs done. So I wasn't able to schedule it in there. So I told them maybe next time. That's my plan. So, okay. So to get back into these DEXA results, my body fat went from 20% to 17.5% in 1 year. My mass, my total body mass went from 145.5 to 136.9. So I lost about, what is that? Total just weight wise, 8.6 pounds. Now my fat tissue, I lost 5 pounds of body fat in a year. And some of you might be looking at this and you're like, but that's not a lot. 5 pounds of body fat in a year. You have to remember how lean I am right now. You also have to remember that 5 pounds of body fat versus 5 pounds on the scale are 2 totally different things. 5 pounds of body fat, and I'll show you a visual after, but let me just get through this. Lean tissue. This is the one that I was concerned about. That's why you see it highlighted in orange here. Lean tissue went from 110.9 pounds to 107.4 pounds. Now, I did a little digging into this, and I'll talk about this in a second. But before I get into more of this, the visceral adipose tissue, which is the bad fat that you have on you, went from 0.8 pounds down to 0.6 pounds. And my bone density increased from 1.158 to 1.246. And I'll start digging into all of these numbers in a second here. So let me see if I can share what I can share properly. So let's talk about the fat percentage first. I'm going to try to make this a large screen. I don't know if that changes. Does that change the size? Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Was it this? That's still about the same. So I could put myself here. So this is exactly the first part of the sheet that they gave me. You'll see at the very top. Hopefully you can read this. If not, I'm going to go through it anyway. But so I did lose weight altogether. The last time I got my DEXA scan, I was 145.5 pounds. Today, 136.9. My body fat percentage went down. I was really happy to see me lose 5 pounds of body fat. I was a little concerned that I lost quote unquote lean tissue, but I'm going to talk about that in a bit. If you look at the bottom, this actually shows where my fat is. The majority of that fat is on my trunk section, where my stomach, my back is. And that is where I lost the majority of my extra fat, on my trunk. But I'll see if we can maybe cut into a different part of this, because as I look at this regional body composition analysis, it says this report below shows the 5 key regions of your body, including your arms, legs, trunk, android, which is your abdomen, and gynoid, which is your hip region. And then if you see here, as I'm looking at it now, and you know what? I think I have a different breakdown of this where it shows me exactly where I've lost that. So let me break into this next part here. As we go back into this, oops, that's the wrong thing. As we go back into fat tissue, like I said, I lost 5 pounds of body fat. Lean tissue is where I was concerned. I was really hoping the lean tissue would increase, but I'm going to share this now so we can look at what lean tissue looks like. Oh, wait, let's go back to VAT. Okay. This is the visceral adipose tissue. So I'm going to read this. So if you are here, you can understand what this means. And this is why I'm sharing this, because this is more than just the number on the scale. This is about losing excess body fat and gaining muscle. What does it matter what the scale says if you still have a lot of, for example, VAT on you, which is visceral adipose tissue? So what is it? The android region, which is the abdomen, right? That abdomen area. And often the body type with increased fat in this area is described as quote unquote apple shaped. The gynoid region is that around the hips and thighs, and often the body type with increased fat in this area is described as quote unquote pear shaped. You know what I mean, right? So around your stomach, that's the apple shape. On your hips or thighs or your butt, that is the pear shape. So I'm sure you've heard people call other people before apple shape, pear shape. But this is where the VAT, the visceral adipose tissue, is, I believe, located. Understanding where fat is stored on the body is recognized as an important predicator of the potential health risks of obesity. So this estimates the VAT, the visceral adipose tissue content, within the android region. It's a specific type of fat that is associated with several types of metabolic diseases, such as obesity, metabolic syndrome, and type 2 diabetes. I am a type 2 diabetic, let's not forget. Core scan results have been validated for adults between the ages of 18 to 90, and with a BMI in the range of 18.5 to 40. So if you look at the middle part here where it shows your visceral fat, where it has like the little diagram of an abdomen, the ideal number that they want you to be in with VAT is anywhere between 0 and 52. If you look at the very bottom here, not the bottom. If you look at the top right, my VAT in 2024 was 23.39. So I was already in the ideal healthy range. Today, this morning, I was 19.83. So my visceral adipose fat went down. So it already went from good to better. So that area around my stomach where we should not be having excess body fat is now in an even better range than before. God I Am asks, so does Jerome take insulin? I don't. I reversed my type 2 diabetes. I reversed my high blood pressure. I restored my low testosterone naturally through fasting and working on my good healthy habits. Just FYI. Okay, so let's get back into this part, right? So let's talk about my lean tissue, the muscle. And this is the part that I was concerned with. Brighter Family, are you asking about the price of a DEXA scan? I paid $75. So once a year for $75, it was super cheap. If I did something with RMR, which meant that they were going to test my my resting metabolic rate, that would have been more. But just the DEXA scan that I'm showing you right now, it cost me $75. Yeah, I mean, Shauna was even saying that it was $50. So, okay, I want to share this again. So we're gonna talk about my lean tissue, my muscle. Okay, if I can find the right. Here we go. So here is where it told me I lost 3.5 pounds of lean tissue. So even before I can even, well, you know what? Let's just talk about this. So this is showing me that I lost most of my lean tissue in my, was it my legs? Now I need to make sure I'm reading this right. Because this is telling me, this looks different than the other one I was looking at. Okay, give me a second here, because I know that I have a slide that talks about the muscle mass here. Okay, this is what it is. So even though it says I lost 3.5 pounds of lean mass, I did ask ChatGPT because I was really curious, and it says here DEXA labels lean mass as not just muscle. It's only part of that. Lean mass also includes muscle tissue, glycogen, which is the water that's stored in your muscle, organs, blood volume, and bone minerals. So my bone mineral content stayed the same. So it suggests no true muscle breakdown from starvation or malnutrition. So if anybody is ever wondering, well, fasting is bad for you because it's going to make you malnourished. It's going to break down the bones in your body. It's going to X, Y, and Z. Well, I'm telling you right now that my bone density increased, just FYI. So I'm not malnourished. I continue to lose body fat. And while the lean tissue showed 3.5 less pounds, let me talk more about this. Visceral fat improved, which means that my metabolism is still healthy. And then most of the loss from my lean mass showed up in my legs, which are the number one place where glycogen plus water fluctuate. And I actually, oops, that's the wrong slide. When I looked at this, the muscle mass balance analysis, at the very top, it says the table below regionalizes your arms and legs to assess muscle symmetry. Arms will often have tissue imbalances up to 0.5 pound, while legs will have tissue imbalances up to 1.5 pounds. So again, like that's probably where some of that is coming into play. I know it's not perfect. And actually, Afia says it here too. When you lose weight in general, the lean muscle would show a loss on the DEXA scans. I got a similar result back in 2023 after a quick 10-pound cut. So thank you for sharing that with me, Afia, because obviously I was a little concerned, but also when I learned that a lot of it could just be varied, because lean mass could also just be stored water. It could be X, Y, and Z, right? Like it made me feel like, okay, because I know I look leaner. I know I'm lifting heavier at the gym. So I know it's not that big of an issue. Shauna also says, so true. Water and food consumed prior to a DEXA can cause it to fluctuate. You need to try to go in the same amount fasted each time. And so that's the thing, Shauna, I did actually. I looked at my last DEXA and I finished a 69-hour fast. And today was about the same. So today's about the same result. But again, it varies. And I also know that I've continued to cut. And actually, let me show this photo, which I think is one of my favorite things to see here. So I'm going to see if I can throw myself back on. This might be hard for people to see. I don't know if people can see this, but if you look at the image on the left was a scan of me taken exactly 1 year ago on November 6, 2024. If you look at what is highlighted in yellow, anything highlighted in yellow is fat, okay? It's hard to see. You probably have to see a bigger picture than this. But if you see what is highlighted in yellow, that is fat. If you look at what is on the right side, that was me today. That is me today. That was me this morning. Just look at my stomach area. You can see on the left, the stomach area is a lot more, there's a lot more fat, right? And then look at where it's at today. Now, here's the thing about that, right? Even when you look at these two pictures, the only difference in weight was 5 pounds, 5 pounds on the scale. That was the only difference. This is why I think it's really important that you have to understand that this is more than just a number on the scale. Start thinking about, how can I lose excess body fat? How can I gain muscle? Remember, how can you lose excess body fat? How can you gain muscle? When I looked at this photo, this sold it for me. I was just like, well, okay, this is all I need, right? And I'm looking. So the majority of my weight, the majority of my fat is still located in the stomach area. And for them to tell me that I was 17.5% body fat, it reminded me that I still have more weight to lose. I still have more fat that I can get off of me. So to go back into the lean muscle, right? After years 1 and 2, it told me that I lost 0.4 pounds of lean mass on my arms, 0.6 pounds of lean mass on my trunk, and 2.6 pounds of lean mass on my legs, which when I saw that, I was like, that's crazy. How did I lose 2.5 pounds of muscle on my legs? And then ChatGPT, of course, I know ChatGPT isn't 100% accurate, but I'm assuming that this is most likely correct. ChatGPT told me almost all of the lean loss came from the legs, the biggest glycogen plus water storage area in the body. And they said here that's a hydration signal, not muscle loss. And it says if you lost 2.6 pounds only in the legs after a year of walking 15,000 steps a day, because you all know that I walk at least 15,000 steps a day on average, not stopping workouts. That's not how muscle dies. That's how glycogen depletes. So even reading that made me feel better. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue working, right? Think about this for a second, everyone. Imagine in March of 2024, so over a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, imagine if I got down to my weight of 137.8, which today I'm at 135.6, so around the same amount. Imagine if I hit 137.8 and I changed nothing. I didn't lift heavier at the gym. I didn't try doing new things. I didn't eat more frequently, add more protein. My body composition almost 2 years ago and today are very, very different. And honestly, when I look at this photo here, this is a 5-pound difference. It's so much different where my fat is located. And it just makes me wonder, okay, I lost 5 pounds of fat. Where's the muscle on here, right? How has that changed on me? So no matter what the scan says, I also know that I lift heavier at the gym. I know that I look leaner. And even if I didn't feel that way, even if the numbers were awful, does that mean I'm going to give up? Does that mean I'm going to stop? And this is why I'm being as transparent as I can be, because maybe, honestly, even for me, even before I got these numbers back, I was like, I'm definitely going to lose fat and I'm definitely going to gain muscle. And those numbers weren't exactly what I thought, although I know there's some variance there and I know it's not perfect, but no matter what it says, it isn't going to change what I'm doing. I have to continue trusting the process. I have to tell myself, okay, keep moving on. This is year number 3. For a lot of people who are trying to gain muscle and lose excess body fat, this is a lifelong journey. This is a lot of work. And think about it. I'm going to be 45 in less than a month. This shit isn't going to get easier. In fact, I probably will have to start working harder. But you know what? I'm up for it. I want to take care of my health. I think it's that important. I don't want to just lay by the wayside and worry about my diabetes coming back, my high blood pressure coming back, my testosterone tanking, and God forbid what else could happen in the future. Oh, here's the last thing I wanted to share. Okay. So not that photo, but this right here. This is my total body bone density. This is a figure of where my bone density is at. Now, this isn't the actual bone density test. This is just I think a more general area of that, or a more general description of it. But what did I put here? I thought I had another slide. Give me 1 second. Where did that go? Was it not here? It wasn't there. I guess what I was trying to say, because I can't find it, is my bone density improved over time. That's not it either. That's not it. That's not it. Damn, I don't know what I did with that photo. Is it this one? No, that's the lean mass. That's the muscle mass. That's okay. I thought I had it. My bone density increased. And so for people who are wondering about fasting and is it going to be, I mean, I'm literally 2 years into my journey. Today is day 1 of year number 3. And for people who are ever wondering, fasting doesn't work, you're going to do this to yourself, it's going to be, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but for my blood work to be optimal, for me to be in the best shape of my life, for me to lose excess body fat and to still keep muscle, maintain muscle, lift heavy at the gym, and to get my DEXA scan done and to even show that my bone density has increased, because I know I have that particular slide where I talked about the percentage of where that bone density was at. And bone density increased from 1.158 to 1.246. I did ask ChatGPT about it. I thought I had posted it in there, but let me see if I can find what ChatGPT told me, because I don't know enough about the bone density to share, or, you know, to really speak on it. So I asked about it, and it says here, Uh, Okay, so it told me as I showed them the photos, it says that your bone density increased by 7.6%. Um, so it says here no osteopenia, no osteoporosis, no bone loss. It says fasting plus walking plus protein plus lifting equals bone health protected. Um, it says you lost fat, maintained lean tissue well, and improved bone density by almost 8% during a deficit year, during a year where I was continuously losing weight. Um, So it says here, I scored a T score, and I know I have that on here in the bone density part. It's just so hard for me because I don't understand how this works. So it says here, your T score of plus 0.5, which you see at the bottom there, at the bottom middle. It says 0.5. It says normal, strong bone, same range as a healthy 20 to 30-year-old. I'm 44, just FYI, for any of you who are wondering. I'm going to be 45 in less than a month. And then it says a Z score of 1, right? And you'll see that next to the 0.5 there. Your bones are denser than 84% of people your age. So that 1 score means I'm in the 84th percentile. So it says, so not only did you not lose bone, you're in the top tier for bone strength for your age group. And that's through fasting. That's through 2 years of fasting. That's through the first 140 days of fasting 90 plus hours, and then 65 hours, and then now 40 hours. In the last 2 years, my average fast is around 49 hours. So for anybody who might doubt the positives that come from it, I know I'm only one person, but I don't lie about any of this, right? I literally just showed you my DEXA scan and what the numbers were from before. I'm as transparent as I can be. So for anybody that questions this type of lifestyle, I just want you to know that at least you can look at me and be like, well, I know that somebody's at least telling the truth and sharing their results and sharing how they feel. Because even as, think about it, right? We're doing this live stream right now. I'm 65. I'm almost 66 hours fasted. If I didn't tell you that I was 66 hours fasted, would you even know? Would you even think about it? When I went for my walk this morning and I walked 10,000 steps, would you even think that I would be 66 hours fasted? Do I seem tired? Do I seem off? Do I seem irritable? Right? I've been doing this for a long time. I built this. I just want people to know that you can do hard things. And all it takes is just pushing on and working on yourself. I'm not saying that you should be doing 90-hour fasts. I'm not saying that you should do 65s or even 48s. I'm not saying you have to do them over and over and over. But you have to show up. If you can't do fasts that for that long, that's fine. Start with shorter fasts. Learn how to eat better. Start prioritizing strength training. I know that most people don't want to do that. I know that. Why? Because if you're like me, like I was at the very beginning, the only thing that mattered was pushing the weight on the scale down. That's the only thing that mattered. That's the only thing I paid attention to. And I've realized that this whole time I could have just kept working on strength training. And honestly, that's my goal now for year number 3. After getting this DEXA scan done, I started to realize, okay, maybe I shouldn't fast for more than even the 65 hours I'm doing right now. I mean, I will apply it every now and then, just like I'm doing today, but I should start really focusing on strength training even more. And I think that's my plan moving forward. So I'll probably have to find a better routine or be a little more aggressive on that routine, but we'll see what that looks like. And that's pretty much what year number 3 looks like for me. Again, the goals aren't going to be super crazy. And I just had this slide up, but just to share with you all right now, my goal for the month of November is very simple. It's to just lose 1 pound of body fat, to be in a deficit of 3,500 calories, and to gain half a pound of muscle. So this is a very slow way of losing the excess body fat. Remember, my DEXA scan just showed me that I was 17.5% body fat. I can get myself down to 15%. 15% is still a good number to be at. A lot of people strive for 15%. I'm 1.5%. Wait, I'm 2.5% there. Last year, I was at 20%. This year, 17.5%. Maybe for year number 3, it will be a more successful year. Why? Because I can fast for less. I can lift more. Maybe I won't binge. Maybe I won't have crazy overeating days. Maybe I will. But no matter what, I will continue. I will keep pushing on my journey. The last thing that I was going to share in terms of the nerd stats, right, is what this goals look like over the last couple of days. So on the 1st of November, that's when I went out with friends and family. I ate 5,500 calories. That easily put me out of my goal for the month of November. On November 2nd, I had 0 calories. So you'll see the total calories in still kept itself the same. The deficit shrunk, but then the next day I ate again, pushed that up. And now that's why I put myself on a 65-hour fast, because as of yesterday, fasting for the entire day, now I'm at a deficit. And that puts me back at a good place again to get back on my journey, to hit my goal for the month of November. Now, I have a lot happening in November. I'm going out again with friends, actually quite a number of times this week and next. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot of control I have to do, but I'm planning, I'm strategizing, I'm figuring it out. As we close off nerd stats for today, I just want you to remember, don't worry about just what the number on the scale says. As I showed you my DEXA scan, as I showed you all of my nerd stats right now, it's really important to know that there is more to life than just a number on the scale. Okay, that's it. That's all the nerd stats. I mean, this literally took almost 2 hours. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to do fit check. Fit check's where I stand back there. That's what I show you, what I look like physically. Whether I am feeling lean or feeling bloated, or after I ate 5,000 calories or even 10,000 calories. I do this for accountability. I do this for transparency. I stand up here whether I'm feeling bloated or lean, because I know that doing that will keep me in check. It'll make sure that I don't have multiple days of just eating like shit and hiding from people, pretending it didn't happen, running away. Now, if I can find the right slides here, we'll get into this next part. I have been overweight my entire life. As a child, as people throw up the fit check emoji, in my adolescent years, in my teenage years, in my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. I look at that photo sometimes and then I'm like, I wonder what my DEXA scan would have shown then. I wonder what the DEXA scan would have shown fat percentage wise and muscle wise or lean mass wise. But I show all of those photos because I think it's really important for you to know that I have been overweight, obese, morbidly obese forever. This isn't recent. And now I get to tell you that I have not only lost that weight in a record amount of time, in less than 5 months, but I have also kept it off now for 2 years, which is amazing to think about. And I did it naturally, not medication, not injections, never on GLP-1, not Wegovy, nothing like that. No weight loss surgery, not HRT, TRT, not any type of hormone replacement therapy. Naturally, through fasting and working on my good, healthy habits. Now, does that mean you should get off of your medication? No. Does that mean that you shouldn't consider GLP-1 or weight loss surgery? No. You have to do what works for you. But if you feel like you're in a hopeless state, you feel like nothing else is going to work, I'm telling you right now, maybe it's time to think about accountability. Maybe it's time to think about working on good, healthy habits and breaking bad, toxic ones. Because as somebody who's 44 years old, who thought, I'll never be able to lose this weight. I'll never be able to even just get, because before this, my goal was to maybe be 180 pounds. But here I am now, today at 135.6, the lowest I've been in 4 years. And I know I'm going to keep pushing that lower, not by fasting for 90 hours either, fasting for less, eating more. Letty with a $5 super chat. Letty, thank you so much for your support. As always, congrats on 2 years. Thank you so much. Appreciate you greatly. Old style time. It's not going to be an old style tonight, but I will probably have an old style sooner rather than later. Letty, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate your continued support. Thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to do fit check. This shirt that I'm wearing is probably one of the slimmest shirts that I own. I do wear boys' clothes, but this is an extra small shirt, which is actually smaller than my boys' shirts. I'm wearing these boys' pants here. Why do I wear boys' clothes? Because I'm short. I'm only 5'3" tall. I'm going to raise this here. So now that you know where I'm at fat percentage-wise and muscle mass-wise, maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't, but front shot right here, side, rear, side, and again, front. Yes, I do have fat on here. Like I said, most of the fat is still here. It's still something that I'm continuing to work on. And I just got a super chat. Ooh, super chat. Chuyon, it's so nice to see you. Welcome. I'll give you the proper thank you when I sit down here. So I'm very happy with where I'm at, right? I had just mentioned how my visceral adipose tissue was good, which minimizes the risk of type 2 diabetes and obesity and other metabolic syndrome issues. I'm very happy with my fasting regimen. I'm happy with the way I've been refeeding lately, but I also know that I have work to do. I also know that I still have weight I want to push out or weight I want to lose. Not even weight. I want to lose excess body fat because I'm still clocked in at 17.5%. I want to maybe push myself down to 15% by next year. That seems like a good goal. I want to make sure that I continue to lift heavy at the gym and build muscle. That's still a good goal. Like I said, the journey doesn't end. It doesn't end. So, that's it. Okay, so hold on here. Gion with a 10,000, is it one? I believe 10,001 super chat. Gion, thank you for your support as always. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for hopping on. I know it's probably really early for you right now in South Korea. So thank you for the support. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Gion says, Jerome, congrats on 2 years. I appreciate that. Thank you. How have you been, Gion? Have you been okay? Have things been all right? I know we just talked yesterday on our autophagy live stream, but hopefully you're doing good. Again, thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. Okay, so at this time, I will answer any questions that you might have. If you want to talk about anything specific, please feel free to throw it out there. I'm happy to chat and talk about it. Although I know I can't talk for too much longer because I still have a lot of work to do today. And this live stream is almost 2 hours in at this point. But in the meantime, if any of you are looking for additional help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can go over a game plan and a strategy that works for you. My goal is very simple: to get you to be happy and healthy. My goal is to help you break bad habits and build and work on good ones. So finallyfasting.com, if that's something you're interested in. At the same time, if any of you want to support me in a different way, you can click the link in the description of this live stream to be part of the Finally Fasting fam. You probably saw, if you've been here since the beginning, there are a couple people who joined. If you do join, you'll get green, I believe, next to your name. You'll see it in people, you'll see it with people in chat. You'll get this little emoji next to your name. You get to use custom emoji. You'll get your name on the intros of the live streams. And it's just a way to support. If you do join and you join the higher tier group, the autophagy group, that means on Wednesdays, you will join us for our Wednesday late afternoon, early evening live streams, where it's not just me on camera, other people will get on camera. We all share an accountability spreadsheet. We all have individual goals that we strive for. We've had a lot of new people recently as well. I don't want to throw names out there, but I had somebody, thank me yesterday for having something like that, saying it's really nice to just have a community that isn't right, like straight out judgy, but we're all supporting each other. So if that's something you're interested in, you can take a look at that. So, okay, I will answer whatever questions I can. Let me scroll up here. Hi, Angela. It's nice to see you. Cole, the beloved, nice to see you as well. So let me see here if there's anything in particular. So I was looking for, that's what I was waiting for. Margaret asks, do you know when you will be doing another live stream? Aisha also says, I think I'm a little behind on the live stream. I'm curious to know, when do you plan on live streaming next? So here's the thing is, I am not exactly sure about tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to depend on my workload. I thought I was going to be able to, but my guess is I probably will not. I will live stream though for sure on Saturday. So on Saturday, I will be live streaming. Let me just take a look at my schedule here. Because tomorrow I have, like I said it on my last live stream, but I have started taking up more work. I've started a client. I have a good amount of coaching sessions tomorrow. So most likely tomorrow will not happen since I have to catch up with other work. But tomorrow we will be live streaming at around, we'll say anywhere between 1:30 to 2 p.m. Central tomorrow. 1:30 to 2 p.m. Central, or I'm so sorry, 1:30 to 2 p.m. Central on Saturday. Friday, tomorrow, most likely I will not be live streaming. I will put a community post out there if I do indeed not live stream. So if I put that community post out there, please feel free to let me know how you're doing on your journey, if it's helpful for you. I would also tell other people, if you see that community post, engage with other people, encourage them. I mean, you don't have to, but I'm telling you, sometimes having that, just knowing that somebody else is reading and hearing about you can be helpful. I don't have time to reply to everyone. And this is kind of where I lean on the community and say, hey, like, let other people know that they're not alone too. So just saying. Okay. Thanks, Juan. Juan says, Jerome, I respect what you have done and the dedication for us. I appreciate that. Writer family says, watch out, Philippines. Here comes Jerome. I mean, that's coming. That's coming. Thomas also asked something similar. Do you have a planned future live date? So Thomas, probably, or most likely, not most likely, definitely Saturday, anywhere between 1:30 and 2 p.m. Central. Tomorrow, most likely not. But if I do, then maybe it'll be a surprise. So thanks, Thomas. Let's see. I see many of you are talking in chat there. I love it. Tahira says, I'm very conscious as I fast for 4 days and lost 4 kg. Please tell me how you manage your loose skin. You got any surgery? No. I have loose skin. I have loose skin right now. I always talk about this. I have loose skin on my neck. I have loose skin on my upper arms, which are here. They're not bad. Most of my loose skin's on my lower belly, my upper inner thighs. How do I manage it? I lift weights, and that isn't even really managing it. That's just hoping that as muscle builds, that it maybe fills out places. But outside of what I'm doing fasting wise and lifting weights, I don't do anything. I don't take anything special. I don't even put any creams on. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but listen, I'm not too worried about loose skin. It is what it is. I will deal with it when I am at a better fat percentage I want to be at. I'll deal with it when I feel like it's time. But for now, I'm not even thinking about that. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stop what I'm doing either. I know there are people who are like, well, I don't want to lose all that weight because of loose skin. I'm like, so you'd rather be a type 2 diabetic? You'd rather have high blood pressure than deal with some loose skin? Again, you do you. I can't judge, but to me, I feel like that's an easy answer is if I had to pick between type 2 diabetes and loose skin, I'll take loose skin all day, every day. Thomas says, just do ADL, alternate day lives. That's actually not bad, but it's when I move to the Philippines too, I have to figure out my schedule and how that's going to work. So Birdie, it's nice to see you. Hi, Jerome, missed most of the live. It's okay, Birdie. It's nice to see you. I love when you're able to drop by. We'll rewatch later. Just wanted to say happy 2-year fastiversary or fastversary. Birdie, thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Aisha. So kind of you. Thank you. This is also a really good point. CJ says 15 to 18% is ideal body fat percentage for longevity. Easier to go for a range rather than an exact number, which is impossible. That's actually really good too. I like that. You think it's a stretch for me if I wanted to go under 15? I mean, to think that it took a year to go from 20 to 17 and a half. But I mean, I'm not, like I said, when I show this photo, I'm not that photo, but this photo of 1 year ago versus now, and like seeing how the yellow, it's so much less yellow because yellow is where fat is. And to see how most of that fat went away in my stomach, even just to see like the size of my waist, it's encouraging. So anyway, you're right though, CJ. I like that. That's a good call out. That's definitely a good call out. Tahira says, as with the water fasting, almost 1 kg I lose every day, but the instant weight loss of the skin, do you face any? I mean, yeah, I have loose skin around my belly, Tahira. I don't know if you heard me say it earlier, but yes, I do. And as I read this right now, it makes me wonder, how much weight do you have to lose? And why are you so concerned about loose skin rather than being healthy? Because even for me at 44, almost 45 years old, I mean, I have this loose skin because that's what I did to myself. I honestly, I don't even think twice about it. I'm just like, I will deal with it when that time comes. I mean, maybe for you right now, the most important part is making sure you're healthy and you're happy and you are doing good things for yourself instead of thinking about something like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get it. It's normal to have thoughts about loose skin. I mean, you think I like this on my neck? I don't. But what am I going to do outside of surgery? And if I do, then I'll get it. But right now, I'm not even thinking about it at this point. So, you're right, Maggie May. Anything is possible. So we'll see, right? Another year of pushing and doing what I have to do. We'll see. Writer says it's currently 6 a.m. in Manila. What time are these lives going to be at? That's the part I haven't figured out yet. If anything, they might be in the early evening, is my guess, when I'm in Manila. So I'll be doing them in the mornings in Manila, and then in the States, they'll probably be in the early evenings. So, yeah. GYSD, it's nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. And yeah, GYSD says that's what I did to myself. Actually, quite profound statement right there. I mean, that's how I see it. Like, how am I going to beat myself up over loose skin when for 40 plus years, like I was struggling and I was right. Like I can't beat myself up about it. It's what happened. And even though that I was going through my eating disorder and facing my own struggles, I knew what I was doing. I knew it was bad for me, but I did it anyway. So Writer Family says, my friend said she doesn't want to lose weight because she doesn't want her breasts to shrink. I was like, don't you want your belly to shrink? I mean, that's a good call out too. I mean, you know, and I get it. People are going to feel the way they feel. I guess that's not something I think about because for me, I would like to not have that issue. So it's different for everyone, but okay. Anyway, I think with that being said, I think we are done for the day. This was a long live stream. We were 2+ hours in. I am closing screens here so that I can transition out of this better. But before I go, I just want to give a very special thanks again to Miss Peaceful One, to Priceman 5, to ultimately Melissa, to Melly Mel, to Gloria Joan, to Bill, to Letty, and to Juyon. Thank you all for your super chats or for joining the Finally Fasting fam today. Or I believe ultimately Melissa did both, donated and became part of the Finally Fasting fam. Thank you all for sharing my 2-year anniversary with me today. Here's to year number 3. I mean, there's no better way to start off year number 3 like today by being the lowest weight I've been in over 4 years. But here's to another year of working on myself and working on my goals and being happy and healthy. And I hope everybody that's here as well will do the same. Continue working on your goals. Remember, it's not just about what the scale says. It's not just about doing a long fast. It's taking care of yourself on all levels if you can. And you should, because that's important. So with that being said, thank you also to all my Finally Fasting fam members. Thank you for supporting me in that way. Thank you to all my everyday or anytime I live stream. Thank you for showing up and being here and being a regular and sharing your story with me. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me to know that I'm not alone. And remember, you're not alone as well. We're doing this together. So with that being said, I will most likely not be live streaming tomorrow, but I will be live streaming on Saturday. So hopefully I'll see you on Saturday. And just an FYI, I will be live streaming on Saturday and Sunday. So you don't have to worry about those 2 days for the weekend. You'll see me this weekend. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to do my obligatory wave. I will see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Here's to another year. On to year number 3. I'll see you soon. Take care.